I'll look for Spider-Man.
I'm like, where's Isaiah, Michael, Abby?
Best part is my nutritional levels never dropped.
Didn't they?
No.
Well, that's good. You were so strong. I remember the first day I went in. I was so sick, throwing up nothing. The guy stood me in that laser. You know, they had me naked there, stand me, and they're doing all the measurements, beaming the freaking lasers all over my body.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm so sick at the point they're holding up, and he says, "You're big through the upper body." And I says, "Yeah, I've been a plaster for all those years." And he says, "You look like you're a strong dude." And he says, "I've been here for 26 years." He says, "I'm here to tell you you're going to need every bit of that upper body strength." Oh boy. I mean, I got so weak in there. I mean, and I'm a strong dude. And it was the point. I mean, it was everything I could do to get out of bed. I mean, I was like, and that, like I said, it happened so fast.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like
Once, just one time.
I just tried to keep my mind occupied.
Me too.
To keep it fresh. I mean, that's when I got my digital SLR. Is when I got relapsed.
I didn't do anything.
I was like, I need to keep learning and keep trying new things. Otherwise,
well, my vlog kept me alive. I'd do my vlog in there, and then I got to be friends with the maids. And they're from Bangladesh. Or excuse me, not Bangladesh. They were from Nepal. And they were school teachers. And so we'd sit in there talk for hours. And, you know, I remember Dr. Pierce says, "God, your friend?" I says, "Yeah." "What do you think they are? Just brown servants?" He would say all the time, I was a school teacher, would be like being a doctor in Nepal. I came here for a better life, and he was really disillusioned. So I would talk to them for hours. They were great. I got to be friends with them.
I did
of course,
get
all
on
the nurses.
One of them. Because she came in sick, and I ended up with a bad infection and fever
she
that
did?
day. Yeah.
Wow, they're not even supposed to even get near there if they're sick.
Yeah, so I did have to get on one of them one day.
Most of my maids were men.
Oh, wow.
Was what's his name? He was great. I loved him. He was a school teacher in Nepal for years. So, I mean, I would sit and we'd talk about all kinds of things. Because, like I said, I couldn't even watch TV. I would turn the TV on, the light from the TV, I would just freaking dry heave. You know?
The one thing I did not like was they didn't have the Food Network. Which was funny, because in Seattle, anytime that they wanted to get my appetite up, I would watch like the Food Network or the Cooking Channel, and I'd be like, "Wow, that looks so good." And then I'd have somebody bring me something. Of course, I couldn't eat it all, and it tasted like crap because everything on my tongue died. But it was one of the ways to get my appetite up.
I never even thought of that. Well, when I got out, Greta says, "Kevin," she says, "I'll take you anywhere you want to," because I hadn't been out of there forever. She says, I says, "Well, you know, let's go down to the strip joint." She says, "Okay." She says, "I'm going to call ahead. Let them girls know what you've been in and whatever." You know, because Dr. Peterson, you say, "Well, God, maybe you're ready to get better. You keep trying to get them night nurses to crawl up in the room, bed with you." And I said, "Wasn't that part of their duty to make sure everything works?" And they would laugh, you know, and so I says, so Greta's like, "Is that where you want to go?" And I says, "Hell no, I want to go to Olive Garden right there." And she says,
"Oh, yeah.
Really?" And I says, "Yeah, I would have dreams about lasagna."
Oh yeah.
I would have dreams about, you know, I wasn't even a big lasagna eater, but I remember the first time, so we went over there, she took me down there, and I remember I ate lasagna. It was like freaking, I never had a feeling like that in my entire life, because I'd been like 6 months without any real food.
Yeah. I'm a big proponent of Olive Garden, just because that little girl I was telling you about that passed away, Millie.
Oh yeah.
I was going to visit her once when I was out, and she was up at Children's, and this friend that was driving me around, we called and said, "Hey, is there anything that you guys want?" The family's up there, she's up there, and she's like, they're like, all she wants is breadsticks and the Alfredo sauce from
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. So we stopped right at this one right here. And when they found out what we were doing, the manager came out, gave us like 4 orders of breadsticks, big tubs of the Alfredo sauce, salad. They gave us a free cake, and he didn't charge us for any of it.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Isn't that the way it should be?
Yeah. So I was just like, all right, I like.
Yeah, when we went to the one down, we went to the one in Layton, and you know, she told him what the situation. the guy walks out, he says, "You ain't paying."
Yeah.
You know, so every time he's, you know, and I don't eat out a lot now because I'm a militant on my diet. I drink a lot of carrot juice. Dr. Peterson works with me.
Yeah.
You know, and bananas, carrot juice, grapefruit. I've learned to really love it. Avocados.
Yeah.
I don't eat much dairy, but you know, so it's amazing you get your priorities in a different order.
Dairy's bad on your stomach.
It's bad on everything.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's full of radiation. It synergizes. You know, do you know the dietitian they have in there?
No.
Sandy?
I'm
She's
sure
great.
I'm sure she's heard my
She's
peace
young.
of mind a few times, but
Well, she doesn't set anything. She has nothing to do with the kitchen.
Yeah.
That thing is a disaster.
well, she would come up to find out why I wasn't eating.
Yeah.
And
But she knows her shit, boy. And me and her talk a lot on, you know, because Dr. Peterson says you have to walk the walk. I walk and I hike every day, and then I have to be militant. I do my vlog, and he says you got to stay militant. You have to listen to every word she says, and you can't vary.
Yeah.
You know, and I cheat once in a while, but not very often. But so she kind of lays it out, you know, what I'm supposed to be eating, what I'm not. And it took me a while, but you know, I'm pretty vegan, and I don't eat any fish. I eat very little dairy. You know, I hardly ever eat meat. Once in a while, because you know, she's like, Kevin, you know how important protein. If you start feeling bad, it's the building block. You have to hammer your body. So she says, if you get feeling down, you've got to hammer yourself with protein. She says, so you learn to listen to you. And so that's the only time I really hammer. You know, I'll eat some lean meat. But
Great. Sorry.
she's great.
It's okay. Well, we just run into each other.
I think the main thing that I ever eat is just chicken when it comes to meat.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's like I go to a place and I'm like, okay, a good big burger. Haven't had one for a long time.
Get this.
Sounds good. I'll inevitably always switch it out with. I'll take the burger and I'll put chicken on it instead of.
I haven't eaten a hamburger in 2 years, and I was a meat eater. So at the 2-year mark, the dietitian, she's like, Kevin, celebrate. Give yourself some. So I ate this great big thick hamburger yesterday. I was like, whoa, first time. She says, be careful with it, just do it. So I've eaten one hamburger in 2 years. I haven't eaten any, you know.
And I'm sure that felt kind of interesting too.
Oh, I loved it. It was so good, but I could feel it in my body that I'm like, my body didn't really appreciate it, I don't think.
No. Well, it's just like people that go on the paleo diet, gluten-free, high-protein stuff. As soon as they have a little bit of like bread or something, their gut just
I had, you know, because it tore up my guts, and I had an ulcer in there and whatever, you know, and they were giving me depositories. I went without a bowel movement for 12 days.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And you know how horrible that is. So it tore, you know what the chemo does to your freaking esophagus. I would get in these pain, I mean, they would have to knock me out with this. That's how much pain I was in. So Dr. Nelson used to scope me constantly and in the HD, you know, and give me Proval, bring me in and out, and I would squeeze his hand, you know, because I was in so much pain. They were worried my bowel was ripped. And so he says, he shows me the before and after pictures I haven't pinned on the wall. He says, that is the most dramatic before and after I ever seen. He says, look how ugly it was. Look how pretty it is now. It's like a baby's butt, he says now. So he says, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. You got to reboot on it. Don't ruin it.
The song